So this is a Hoffman GTE 2500 load nut and safety nut removal. So I'm going to give you guys a quick guide on how to do this because I didn't know how to do it, couldn't find anything online, which is rare these days. So anyway, bought this ramp second hand. There was obviously an issue with it. The guy told me it worked, it didn't. It was covered in grease. So when these load nuts wear out, the lift will struggle. If it was just putting a shell on there, like that car, it would be fine. But anything substantial, it would struggle to go a meter off the ground and it would stop, stall, trip the circuit breaker, whatever. So I put it off for ages. But anyway, it looks like the load nuts and safety nuts have worn. You can actually inspect them here. So if you've got one of these, you need about 5 to 7 mil gap there. If you don't have that 5 to 7 mil gap, and by gap I mean not this edge that's just on my fingernail there, that edge there to there needs to be 7 mil. If it's not, these are like nylon, I think. They wear out, and basically once it gets a meter off the ground, it just all locks up. It won't let you go up, but it will let you go down. So the sort of assembly is the load nut, the safety nut, and just beneath it there's also a lock nut that sort of clamps everything together. Now what you've got to do first is take this assembly off here. It's got the sprocket and almost like the adapter that bolts it to the post. There's no special tools to take this off. I think it was a 13 mil nut and bolt. It bolts in here. So you want to take that off. Then there is an Allen key bolt that goes through the actual sprocket itself and locks everything into place. That all just slides off fine. Well, mine came off fine anyway. So yeah, no special tools for that. So that's good. Anyway, take that off. Then what you want to do is, here is the reservoir. Now, there's two 10 mil sockets in there. Nuts, sorry. You take that off, it will also allow you to take the lid off of the reservoir. Then there'll be another two 10 mil nuts. Then the whole reservoir assembly will come off, like so. There's the lid, and there is the assembly. Then what you'll have are these metal standoffs. Now, like I said, that's the longer bolt there. That's actually a longer thread, sorry, is where you double stack the 10 mil nuts for the reservoir. And then these two go into, basically go through that metal plate there. You can't quite see it, but there's a metal plate there. Goes through that, and then behind that there's also another metal plate which basically puts the load into this beam off this nut. So undo these, and then everything will start to come a little bit loose in there. You still can't quite get it out, but anyway, what you can do then is you've got to just fiddle about with this a little bit, move it up and down. Now that's the metal plate I was talking about. And then you've got this sits on there like that. So this is it's like the load nut. You can see the shape there of where the load nut sits. So like this is where it moves up and down. Now this has caught me out a little bit. So you got this. You see the threads there. Now that's what those standoffs bolt into. So it just keeps everything aligned. Take them out, and then it'll allow you to turn this 90 degrees. You'll also be able to slide this out as well. By slide, you just literally bring it up the threaded bar for now. So we'll put that in the right order. So move that 90 degrees. Then what you'll be able to do is, you might have noticed this is off. I don't think you have to take this off. This was just a bit of trial and error. But anyway, so I have taken that off. Then you'll have the sort of the top end assembly. So this one has got the pulley on top of it. The one I've taken off already didn't. So you've got like a bearing, you've got the bolts then that clamp the bearing, yeah, these two sets of bearings, and then this adapter plate on top as like a keyway at the top of the shaft here. So that's pretty straightforward. As you can see, look, you've got bearing, the keyway, undo those bolts, that'll all come off, and then yeah, just unwind this. And this is the direction you get everything off, is that way. I initially thought it was that way because you took the sprocket off. So anyway, once that's off, I actually had a bit of trouble sliding this entire assembly out, because if you look at this one, there's a slight key there, just on the, what would that be? Looking at the screen, I don't know. The keyway on the right hand side, left hand side, whatever side is right. My lock nut was catching on that, but basically once you get it lined up correctly, you'll be able to slide the entire assembly out this way. So that top end will be off, and you'll be able to slide it all the way down. And then you will have something like this. So this is it already out. This here is the lock nut. I started to think I could wind it down that way. Don't know why I did that. Like I said, this is the top side where the pulley is over there. Now this is your safety nut. This is your load nut. And then these are like the reusable bits of sort of bracketry with the keying that you've got to reuse. So you can actually see, if you look closely, the threads there are quite badly worn. You can see they're a lot thicker. So these definitely need to be replaced. I actually haven't checked this one, I haven't cleaned it up. There's so much grease, I've run out of brake cleaner. So anyway, that sits there, you can see. These are surprisingly expensive. There's a few places online, just type in Hoffman load nut, it'll come up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's how to take it all off, and then the sort of refit is the reverse the removal. Like I said, the worst bit, the worst bit was actually trying to get this whole, figuring out where to start, what I had to take out first. If we shine the light down there, like I said, you can see the lock nut. Can you see it's keyed in? So that was the tricky bit. For whatever reason, when I take this one off now, it might just be straightforward for me. But like I said, it was a bit fiddly. So the nuts at the top, 2 sets, take the reservoir off, take the standoffs out, it'll free all this up, you'll be able to move everything a bit more. Then take the pulley or whatever at the top off, take that assembly off so you've just got the bar. Then you should just be able to slide this whole thing that way. Like I said, this is all in the top position. Maybe there's 1 or 2 things you haven't got to take off to do this job. I've just said it how I've figured it out along the way, and hopefully it can help some of you people out, because I put it off for fucking ages. So yeah, hope it helps. First YouTube video, whatever.